All right, everyone. We're about to go ahead and get started. So, welcome. So glad to have you here at your first engagement, one of your first engagements with SNHU. Welcome to the Making Good Connections webinar. This is a part of your first year experience and making certain that you understand a lot of the resources and support that exist here. I do want to preface it by saying that this is a recorded session. So, as mentioned previously, we will have the opportunity to have your questions addressed and answered in the chat box. So feel free to incorporate any thoughts or perspectives you may have, and we'll be sure, as I mentioned, to be very timely and proficient in addressing those. And a lot of the questions that you may ask, know that others may have questions as well. During this session, we're going to engage with a lot of different stakeholders, a lot of different departments across our vast online institution. So know that there are people on the other end to support you and to make sure that you get the support that you need. So, what are those resources that we're going to talk about? So, we have student involvement. So, they'll talk about SNHU Connect, which is a platform that helps you stay connected with students and peers. SNU Career, so the Career Services offices will be here. Academic support, Shapiro Library, alumni engagement, because we want you to stay connected with SNHU beyond your time as a student with our institution. Talking about SNHU 107 or some of those entry courses that we're going to have, and then also engaging with our peer mentorship program. So, as mentioned, my name is Dr. James Winfield. I serve as one of the associate deans at this institution for first year experience and retention strategies. So, in a nutshell, what that means, my job is to help you stay connected and find the support and resources that are going to make your experience from the time you get to SNHU on out the best experience possible. So, if there is anything that you will remember, I know we're pushing a lot of information toward you. One of the things that I do want you to remember is an acronym, which is PEN, PEN, which stands for Persist, Engage, and Network. That's a part of our first year experience philosophy. We want you to persist in life. We want you to achieve those goals. We want you to persist from term to term academically, but we also want you to engage. We want you to engage with resources across the institution, which is the premise of this particular workshop. Then we want you to network. We want you to network with your faculty, your advisors, staff, and peers to just make that experience the best as possible so that you can have individuals in your corner to support you. So if you don't remember anything, remember PEN, remember persist, engage, network. And that will help you to connect the dots on all the different aspects of different pieces at this institution to ensure that you get the support you need when you need it. So, in the chat, I just want to know how many of you have participated in FYE 101? Has anyone logged into FYE 101, which is our online orientation? Okay, I see a few affirmations. Some people have completed it, some have not. I highly encourage that you go ahead and complete FYE 101 because that's your first touch point into your courses. Because guess what? That's where your courses are going to be. FYE 101 resides in Brightspace, and that's going to be where all your courses are. So with that, learning how to navigate Brightspace, personalize your needs, get to know your program, and then meet your support team. Oh, let me go back. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do now is hand it off to one of my great colleagues here at SNHU, Mandy Seibel, who's going to talk a little bit about student involvement. So as mentioned, you're going to hear from a lot of different stakeholders and supports across the institution. So handing it over to Mandy.
Thanks, James. I'm so excited to be with you all today. I will forewarn you, I'm probably the most long winded of your presenters today. So buckle up, get ready. I'm going to throw quite a bit of information at you, but just take it all in. I will be in the chat after to answer any questions. The chat moves really quickly if you haven't noticed that. So I will be in the chat at the end of the presentation to answer your questions. So try to hold those until the end if at all possible. So I want to start off by also saying that a lot of the work that our offices are chatting with you about today, they intertwine with each other. But I'm excited to be the one to kick us off today. So, James, if you could go to the next slide, that would be great. So, why get involved? We've found that over time, the more students get involved, the more they realize is the opportunities they have in reference to what is available at Southern New Hampshire University. So it's not just about the classes you take, which asterisk are very, very important. It can also be about the relationships that you make as well, if that is something that you're interested in. So, like you were all doing in the chat when we started and we were waiting for the presentation to begin, in SNHU Connect, we are hoping that people find ways to relate, find things in common with someone who may be many, many, many miles away, or maybe even someone who lives in the same town and you had no idea that they were also taking classes at SNHU. So SNHU Connect is a private online space that is only for students in our SNHU programs and our competency-based programs. And a lot of times students will stumble upon SNHU Connect or they're not quite sure how to utilize it. So we're going to go into some detail about what that space looks like, which is similar to layout to some of the other social media platforms out there. So next slide, please, James. All right, so this is our SNHU Connect page on My SNHU. If you haven't gone into My SNHU and played around with some of the different spaces in there, I highly recommend doing so. Like James said, FYE 101 is a great space, but also is My SNU, which has a lot of information on a lot of different departments. So this particular page focuses on SNHU Connect in My SNHU, and it helps you log into SNHU Connect, which is a separate URL. SNHU Connect is a community platform where you'll make new friends, again, with people from all over the country, even the world. Hopefully, you'll meet students in the same program as you and potentially different programs as you, and you will encourage each other along the way of your journey. So the point of SNU Connect is that you are not in this alone. We are here. You may be in an online program, but there are many, many students looking to connect and get involved just like you and to complete their education at SNHU. So what I would suggest is logging into the SNHU online community, the SNHU Connect community, completing your profile, introducing yourself. One of the places you can introduce yourself is the Making Good Connections space, which is one of the pages there. Talks a lot of students are in there every day sharing their journey, what brought them to SNU, what they're excited about. So make sure to check out that space, and I'll put a link into that space at the end of the presentation. This is a very important note. You will get access to SNHU Connect about a week after you've registered for your first class. So a lot of times when I do this presentation, I get a lot of questions like, oh, I can't log in yet. Just give a little bit more time. It sometimes needs a week after you've registered for that first class to get access. If after a week you still don't have access, definitely email us at connect@snhu.edu and I'll make sure to put that in the chat after the presentation. But like I said, it takes about a week to get access after you're registered. Um, Again, don't be afraid to click around, see what you find. And of course, if you have any questions, make sure to email us at that address that I will share at the end. Next slide, please, James. So, what else can you do in SNHU Connect? So, one of the things is you can meet peers and build your network. So, if you visit the Advanced People Search in SNU Connect, it's a great space because if you enter a combination of search criteria in the search fields, such as home city, state, degree program, and you click search, it'll populate all the students that meet that criteria along with you. You can follow them, you can email them to connect, very similarly to what you were all doing in the chat there. This example with the blue avatar on the left is someone who hasn't updated their profile picture. So that is definitely something, like I mentioned, I would suggest you do add a picture if you're interested in getting involved in this space. It shows you're a real person, that you're there, and that you do want to connect and get involved. You can also see what other students have entered in their profile. So make sure to complete your profile so that students can find you and see who you are and where you're from and your degree. And again, just a note, you'll get access about a week after you registered for your first classes. So if you don't have access quite yet, just give it a little more time. Next slide, please, James. Oh, we're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. We have a quick, I wish I had Jeopardy music. Brief intermission. But while James is going to the next slide, this gives me an opportunity. I can ask, has anybody here joined our online clubs or seen our online clubs? Okay, I got some thumbs up. We got a no. Okay, that's all right. We've got some yeses. That's exciting. Okay. Okay. Some people think they're great. That's awesome. All right, didn't know it was a thing? That's okay. I'm here to talk to you about our clubs. So, we have clubs. We have online clubs, which is very, very exciting. So, we have educational clubs, social clubs, university sponsored clubs. All of our clubs are free to join. You can join them as soon as today. And in order to join, all you have to do is email the club or post on the SNHU Connect page. So for all of these clubs that you see on the screen, all of them have their own page in SNHU Connect that has a feed where they post their events that are upcoming. They post when the meetings are. They post different content things that you can participate in. And in the top left corner of each of these pages, an email. So if you want to join the roster for these clubs, all you have to do is find that email, ask to be added to the roster, but you don't have to do that right away. You may want to see what's happening first in the page, attend some events. It's totally up to you. It's choose your own adventure. For all of these pages, you can follow them in SNHU Connect. So there's a follow button, and if you follow them, they'll show up in your feed. So it's totally up to you. We suggest as a new student to maybe start off with one or two and slowly bring it up from there and see what kind of time commitment your schoolwork has. But these are all ways that have been created to help you get involved. And if you don't see a club here that you're interested in, I'm going to go over in a minute what the process would be to do that. So James, you can go to the next slide, please. So here we are. We're at that point. Club Hub. So Club Hub is our virtual club lounge where all of our SNHU online clubs and organizations share their events, contests, meetings, more. It's a great space to get to know our clubs and student organizations, or if you don't see a club that you're interested in starting, this would be your starting point. You would post your idea on this page, and then I'll share in the chat after the link to our club policies and resources, which kind of goes about what you would need to do to create a new club and go through the recognition process. But this would be the place where if you saw something or had an idea, they're like, this is a great club that we should have. This is your starting point. And again, I'll post the club policies and resources in the chat after if that's something that you're interested in. Next slide, please, James. Okay, so we also have 5 honor societies for online students, which is very, very exciting. So if you qualify for any of these honor societies, you'll get an invitation once a year into your SNHU email, and there are deadlines for each of these societies. So this is a point in the presentation. I always pause to do a quick PSA that checking your SNHU email is 100% important. It is the primary place that SNHU staff, admin, your instructors, we will reach you for SNHU related things. So really get in the habit of checking that SNHU email a couple times a week because you'd hate to miss an opportunity for a deadline extension or an honor society that comes in because that's the primary place that these things will go to. So please, please, please make sure you're checking your SNHU email. So the only honor society on this page that invites twice a year is the National Society of Leadership and Success. All others are once a year. There is a one-time lifetime membership fee for all of these. So as long as you are meeting the criteria, you would get an email. So you want to make sure to check your SNHU your SNHU email. You don't have to nominate yourself. We have a process where if you meet the criteria, you would get an eligibility email into your SNHU email. You can opt in or out of any honor society. It is not something that you have to do. It is just an option that is there for you. And we also have group spaces in SNHU Connect for each of these groups, or honor societies as well. So if you're interested and want to learn more about Alpha Sigma Lambda or Delta Mu Delta, you could check out the page in SNHU Connect and follow the page and see gets posted there as well. And there is also information on my SNHU on all of these honor societies as well. And I'll post that link at the end of the chat as well. Next slide, please, James. All right. So we also, another way that we like to get online students involved is to host as many events as we can. So maybe clubs aren't your thing, but you'd love to attend an event. We do that too. And this is one of the areas that we join forces with our alumni engagement team. Becca's going to be talking to you all a little bit later. We like to have lots of fun events, allow students to network, invite family when we're able to do so. So we've gone to places like Top Golf, Red Bull Stadium for events. We recently went and did some golfing at Monster Golf in San Antonio, Texas. So we really try to find opportunities in real life as well as virtually to help you connect. So a few times a year we have regional events. This is a spoiler alert. You guys are getting information that nobody else knows. If you're in the Atlanta area, we're coming mid-February or beginning of February. So keep an eye out to your SNHU email. You will also get event invitations if we are traveling to your area to your SNHU email. So please, please, please pay attention to those because they are limited space. But There are virtual, there are in-person events that we do a few times a week as well. And I see the question in the chat, are they only in New Hampshire? Nope. We do try to do a few traveling events. Last year we went to Las Vegas, we went to San Antonio and Orlando. This year so far, we've got Atlanta set up for February and more to come. So keep an eye on that SNHU email. We also have a virtual SNHU Leads Conference annually. So that is at the end of March. So keep an eye out for that. It's something that you can attend and plan for. It's 2 days at the end of March. Homecoming and Global Days of Service are amazing events. Our alumni team will talk about more later today as well. Becca will chat about those. And again, we share all of these events on the calendar, which is listed on this slide. I'll put that in the end of the chat after. And all of these things exist as a way to help you connect as an online student. And I do see the question, Sabrina, did we make it to North Carolina? We did. A few years ago in 2019, we went to Charlotte. So we try to alternate, and every year we pick new places so that we're meeting as many students as possible. Arizona is on the list. So if you have any ideas, make sure to let us know, because we are always, when we do travel, we look for places to go to at the states that we do. So we love hearing from you all with any ideas that you have as well. Next slide, please, James. Okay, so we also have learning communities. One of those that Melanie's going to talk to you about today is the SNHU 107 learning community. There's also one for IDS 105, if those are places that you're registered for. And they are also spaces that you can connect with others. There are also groups that you can participate in that are career, social, interest related, student support related. And you can also find information on this page about the Student Engagement Council, along with the eligibility and criteria for the Student Engagement Council. The Student Engagement Council is a group that meets with SNHU staff from SNHU to provide support and feedback on their experience at SNHU, and they are also each assigned a page in SNHU Connect With to help engage. So that is a leadership opportunity that is available at SNHU. I'd like to mention, which I didn't mention about the clubs, another leadership opportunity. If you find clubs really exciting and something that you're interested in, we have cabinet positions for each of our clubs, so president, vice president. So once you get established here, if that's something that you're really interested in, it's another opportunity for leadership. So very exciting there. We also have a page that I don't have a slide for, but I do like to mention. It's called SNHU Spirit in SNHU Connect. And in that page, which is very exciting, we have flash giveaways. So every so often we may say, hey, it's National Brownie Day. Put in the comments what your favorite kind of brownie is. Some random selected winners will receive SNHU swag. So if SNHU swag is something you're interested in, make sure to check out SNHU Spirit, and there's lots of other fun information that we share in there as well. Next slide, please, James. So in closing, here is a picture of an event that we hosted in California. Again, we are the Office of Student Involvement. We are here to help you feel belonging at SNHU. We love to get students together in person and online. We can't wait for you to attend at either an in-person or a virtual event with us. And again, I promise I will put all these links I mentioned in the chat or email and answer any questions that you have. We look forward to seeing you at some of our events or in SNHU Connect. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Amanda, and thanks, James. I'll go ahead and jump in. I'm so excited to be here with all of you this afternoon. My name is Alyssa Laskowski, and I am on the Career Engagement Partner team here within Career Services at SNHU. So my team primarily focuses on helping connect students with career services and all of our career resources early on in their academic programs. So for those of you who have not heard about career services, we are a free career advising and career exploration service for current students and a free lifetime service for students who graduate from SNU. And so now I'm going to talk about how career services can be a benefit to all of you now. So James, next slide, please. So, most of our students here are attending college for a variety of career related reasons. Either they maybe want to explore a new career or want to advance within their current one. And so you might not realize it, but your SNHU Career Services team offers you many support services related to getting you prepared for your next career venture. So our team can partner with you one-on-one to help you outline your unique career plan during your college program. However, I will say it seems that most students wait until graduation or even after graduating to begin connecting with our career services team. We totally understand. It can be intimidating and overwhelming to think about your career plans. And trust me, everyone feels this way. But our career services team can help facilitate your next steps no matter where you are in your unique career journey. And trust me when I tell you, you will get the best results if you connect with our team and our career resources now or much earlier than your graduation day. And we again understand it might not seem like a priority right now while you're just getting started or you're just going through your coursework. But again, I can't emphasize enough the importance of reaching out to us early on in your program to start planning and thinking about potential career paths that are a best fit for you. Next slide, James. So, again, whether you're starting a new career or wanting to advance in your field, our team can assist you in a variety of different ways. So, why should you connect with SNHU Career Services team now? Well, first and foremost, again, this is a free service, and we can provide you support free for life upon graduation after SNU. Our career advisors can help you with anything related to career development and job searching, and that includes exploring career planning options, career skill assessments, resumes and cover letter tips and tricks, interview preparation, helping you with your social media presence like LinkedIn, and generally pointing you towards the right tools and resources just for you. Additionally, Handshake is SNHU's private job board that's just for SNU students and alumni, where you can find our nationwide employer partners that will post full time and part time jobs and even internships targeting talented students like all of you. And through Handshake, you'll also see our career events like career fairs and networking events that are listed, which students can register to attend anytime. So I would highly recommend that you log in and take a look at Handshake using your SNHU email address to set up your profile and get started. Additionally, internships are a highly recommended way to help you gain valuable industry experience that relates to your specific course of study. So, whether you're interested in receiving academic credit for an internship or maybe not, we actually do have a dedicated team of internship advisors that are ready and willing to help you. So, it's important that online students know that they should complete what's called the Pre Internship Survey, or PINS for short, to get started. So, you'll receive that survey response, and then the internship administrator will reach out to you for next steps. Again, I'll make sure to post a lot of these links and resources into the chat box shortly. And lastly, it really is all about making connections while you're here. Making connections is a huge part of your career journey. So by utilizing these resources now, you can work with and partner with a really great supportive team that can help you connect with employers about jobs or internship opportunities at our career events. And again, learn more about what your individual career goals are and how you can get closer to them. So if you're unsure of how to start exploring your skills, your career interests, you're just not sure how to update maybe just your resume, or you are contemplating an internship, we can help you. James, next slide. So there are a number of ways you can access the SNHU Career Services website. So one of the first steps is to log into your MySNU, and what you'll do is you'll click on the three lines that are located at the top left-hand side of the screen, which is the menu option. And there you'll see our Career Services tab, and you can click on that to get to our website. And additionally, you'll find that our website can also be accessed right through your Brightspace and other links in your courses. Next slide, please. And so this is what our career services homepage looks like. So again, you can kind of click around and self-explore, but while you're on the homepage, you can take a look at some of the areas we have specifically outlined, like our job search help, our internship and experience section, as well as a bunch of related resources where you'll see links to Handshake, our dedicated SNU career YouTube channel, and our Skills First platform. So again, students are highly encouraged to take a peek at our website, browse around, and explore all of the career resources that are readily available to you. Next slide, please. And of course, there is a abundance of information out there for the SNHU career team that we've compiled for students that you can access and view at any point in time. And so one of those amazing resources is, again, our SNU career YouTube channel, where you will find hundreds of career videos and even recorded employer and alumni presentations and panel events that are chock full of wonderful career resources. And lastly, on your Brightspace homepage, you'll be able to view monthly what we call our In the Know with Career Services monthly posting. So these announcements are posted to keep you informed on all upcoming events and timely career resources, and you'll be able to find them smack dab on your Brightspace homepage. Next page, please. In closing, again, I can't emphasize enough the amazing career support that's available through our SNHU Career Services team. And so that was a lot of information, I know. So you might just be asking yourselves, well, what can I do right now just to get some career help? So here on the screen are outlined some very simple steps that you can check out. The first being, go ahead and explore our career services website, or you can reach out directly to our career advising team anytime. You can go ahead and start logging into Handshake and exploring those job and internship opportunities. Or again, you can look to reach out to our internship team if you have questions about exploring internships. Again, I'll be sure to add all of these resources in the chat box momentarily. And I will say, I will echo what Amanda said before about checking that SNHU email address. So we here on the SNHU Career Services team are constantly emailing students through their SNHU email addresses to alert you on career events, job leads, career resources, and more. So with that, I thank you so much for your time today, and I will be sure to hand it off now to our next presenter. Thanks, everyone.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here representing academic support. We are a wonderful team of people who I'm hopeful some of you maybe have already had some connections with or checked out. If not, that's why I'm here. I'm one of the academic coaches that you may meet and work with, and we have peer tutors and some other excellent academic coaches as well that you may be meeting with. We are here to level up your studenting skills and help you with Penn, as James mentioned, that persistence and engagement piece especially. Could we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So we are in all of your classes. If you just know where to look, we're at the top, right next to the Shapiro Library. And when you click on the link in Brightspace to come into the Academic Support Center, you're welcomed with your name, and you see this menu of everything that we have available for you. And we have so many different ways for you to connect with us because we know every class is going to be different and every person is different. So we want you to have an experience that works best for you. And that's what I'm going to be doing during my time with you today, is walking you through all the different things that we have. The navigation bar walks you through each one of them, and that's what we're going to do. Next slide, please. Okay, so one of the first options you see on that top menu is 24/7 tutoring. It is 24/7. Everybody works different hours, right? Maybe you might be on really early, you might be on really late. If you're feeling a little stuck with any of your assignments, you can click on that 24/7 drop-in tutoring. It has a form for you to fill out about what you're working on. And just two little drop-down menus. So look for what you're working on in your class and where you're feeling stuck. And then you type in the chat and you get it initiated. There is the tutors in the 24/7 have a whiteboard. There's also voice chat capabilities. And you just start working with the tutor that's available and start working on where you're feeling stuck, and they'll get you unstuck. We also have some peer tutors. So the peer tutors are fantastic, and you're here as somebody who may even become a peer tutor at some point. We're always looking for really great students who would like to give back to the community and work with other students. So that's where a lot of our peer tutors that we currently have started, just where you're at right now. They're fantastic to work with. We have them from a variety of areas. And if you think about the peer tutors, like the content experts, they know these classes because they've just done them. So the peer tutors, if you click on the pre-scheduled support, you see peer tutoring as a drop-down, and then they have this little drop-down menu to fill out of what subject area you are in. And what subject you're learning from. You can select a tutor. So maybe if you've done a workshop, you've seen somebody and you had a personal connection to them, but you can also just leave it open. And then you see these, their availability, and you select the availability that works best for you. And each one of the peer tutor sessions are 45 minutes. Where you can share your screen, your camera, your audio. You can really talk through some things. They can share the screen with you and really guide you to help you persist and feel better about learning. May I have the next slide, please, James? Academic coaching, which is my area. As I said, I'm one of the academic coaches. We are changing the process of the steps to get connected, which promises to be much easier. And this is going to be available starting January 8th. What you'll do is if you are interested in academic coaching, they give you just this little, you click on academic coaching from that pre-scheduled support, and you have a little pathway to choose. If you're having challenges with the class and the content of the class, you click on the left-hand side and they'll guide you to the 24/7 or peer tutoring options, because that's probably the best support for that in the moment. If you're having some struggles that you think are going to impact you, not just in the class you're in, but other classes, things like time management, things like note taking, skill building, some learning differences, that's where you're going to click on that right-hand side, and then you're going to see some skills to book an initial meeting with a coach. During that initial meeting, what we'll do is talk a little bit about how you're feeling about schools, how you're struggling, and what skills you want to work on building, and we'll set some goals and set a plan to start working on some of those goals. Go ahead and forward to the next slide. Academic coaching, what to expect. So the big thing we're asked is, who are these academic coaches? So some of them have been peer tutors who have received additional training. Some are people who are experienced in their field or have experience learning. The biggest thing about academic coaching and what to expect is we're committed to your success. We want you to grow in some of the areas that are essential to learning. And so we help with that persistence, time and task prioritization, reading comprehension, critical thinking, and organization. And we help you build skills over time. And I already talked through a little bit on what we do in that initial meeting, where we start off with a 3-week goal-based plan, and everybody's different. So your plan might be a little bit more than 3 weeks. Your plan might be exactly 3 weeks. It all depends on the goal that you have that you come to us with. Go ahead and skip to the next slide. We also have written feedback. So if you're feeling pretty, all of your classes have writing in them, and if you'd like a second set of eyes on your draft before your instructor takes a look at it to know where your strengths are and where you might make some improvements, the written feedback is a really great option. It promises to come back within 12 hours. Sometimes it's a little bit faster. I always say it's good to give it a day. That way you have time to receive the feedback, look through it, and apply it. So at least 24 hours is a good idea if you use the written feedback. There's this form for you to fill out. So you let the person who knows, who is a person, a human, a trained tutor, is going to take a look at your writing, and they're going to tailor it to what you want to know about. So there's a spot for you to let them know where you're at with the assignment, what you're doing with the assignment. The more information you can give them, the more they can tailor that feedback to you, so that you can get a little bit more help with it, and then take the time to look over it, and then make some changes. It helps a lot with the editing and revision process before your instructor takes a look at it. Can we skip to the next slide? We also have, if you're enjoying this experience or attend the SNHU 107 webinars or any of the webinars that are offered to you, and you really like this kind of space where you can meet other students and collaborate and get some really good and helpful information, we have these wonderful workshops, and the workshops are not just centered around writing. We have a lot that are dedicated to math and graphic design and essential skills like managing procrastination. And so there's a variety of things to choose from. It's a great space to know about, because if you're feeling like, hey, I might try this out, then you can actually do so in the next 3 weeks. We'll have plenty of holiday workshops running over a variety of topics, including like rubric support and learning about rubrics. So this might be a really great way to try out academic support for this next period, the end of the year here, leading up to the beginning of the year and the new term for the undergraduates. Let me have you skip to the next slide. We also have resources. So if you're a person that's really likes to dig into a topic and appreciates videos. We have a lot of really great videos. And if you click on the resources tab up there, we have a search menu. You can type in like APA, and you'll see APA 7th edition materials come up, a lot of good videos on that subject. We have a lot of problem sets and some other things to help with some of the STEM classes. So this is a really great space if you just need a little bit more information to build some skills in certain areas, to check it out. If you're having a hard time finding anything in the resources, you can always check in with us or a peer tutor, and we can help you find some of the resources too, because we have a bunch of them. I think that might be my final slide, but Skip, yes. So I am so glad to have spent some time with you, and thank you for letting me present. And please come check us out, meet with us at Academic Support, and let us help you to grow as a student. Thanks, everyone.
All right, I'll go ahead and jump in. Please forgive my voice. I have children, so I am naturally ill right before the holidays. My name is Shanna Chartier. I am one of our directors of information literacy here at the Shapiro Library. Yeah, gotta love them. Here to kind of just go over very top level what the library can do for you. There's tons and tons of stuff, and we're really excited to help you on your research journeys. There's going to be, you're going to have several points in your studies where, you might need a particular business database or graphic design. I've seen a lot of different degrees listed under here. So we've got lots and lots and lots of resources, and so we're here to help if you need navigating them, but we're also just excited to help you find all the things you need. So go ahead and next slide, James. So if you haven't been to the library homepage yet, it is linked in your Brightspace course right on the homepage there. And you're going to be able to access all of our stuff from what you're seeing here on the screen. So kind of a quick guide. The first thing we always like to mention to people is how you can get in contact with us, because, let's say you're in the middle of research and you can't find any articles. Database searching is very different than Google searching. It can get frustrating. There's just different interfaces. If you find that you struggle at all with your research, you can click on that chat 24/7 with a librarian, that yellow button on the top right-hand screen, and you can have an access to someone who can help you, really like think of keywords or guide you in the right direction or anything like that. So we have a chat, we have an email. Feel free to reach out to us at any time, and we can help support you in your research needs. You'll also see that very big search box right on the homepage there. That's our multi-search. So when you're doing initial research, I often like to recommend that as like your first place to go. It's got research starters like encyclopedic background information. It's kind of a multi-search, means that it searches several of our databases at the same time. So it's really nice for broad searches. Which is lovely. You've got our quick links box there on the left. That's a lot of our important kind of, very often used links. The A to Z database list there. For example, if you're a business major, you might at some point need to get a SWOT analysis. That's not something you could get in the multi-search. That's something you'd want to get in a business database. So you'd click on the A to Z database list to get more specific into those subject-specific databases. We do also have the Getting Started guide that has tons of information about how to research, how to use the databases, how to navigate this place. Because, like I said, we have a lot of stuff, so it's good to kind of take an overview and find your way. We also have a great Citing Your Sources guide. A lot of citation information can be found through the library. We host a lot of that information, so a good thing to have on hand. Interlibrary loan. So whether you are an online student or you are well, you're all online students. What I mean is, whether you're local or whether you're far from New Hampshire, we are able to ship physical books out to you. If you find an article on the web, maybe you're searching Google and we don't have it, we can ask another institution to get it for you. So really, even what we have is not everything that we have. If we don't have it, we can find other ways to access information to get it for you. So just a couple of highlights there. And then lastly, you've got our FAQ box on the far right. And the FAQ box is really handy. Like I said, let's say you're doing an APA citation, it's a YouTube video, you don't know how to cite that. You can type in APA citation YouTube, and an FAQ will come up with step-by-step instructions on how to do that. So it's not just FAQs about like how to use the site or anything. It's literally like questions that we get all the time that have been most useful to our students. Like one of the courses, Marketing 205, is a course where there's been one assignment that really kind of gets students confused. And so we finally just created this FAQ to help walk them through how to access certain company information and things like that. So if you're ever confused, please feel free to try the FAQs. Just start typing in your kind of keywords, and that should help you out. Next slide, please. So last thing I wanted to show is we've got our quick links, but we also have this nice drop-down menu. So again, you can see there's different ways to access our information. Multi-search if you're looking for just books, if you're looking for just articles. The periodical finder is really helpful if you're looking for just like one particular journal and you want to know what level of access we have. That would be a place to go. You see the online library catalog right there. We do have a catalog. I feel like it's kind of buried now that we often databases tend to be more the highly used thing. But yeah, so much more than books. We've got tons of different databases, and it's just like I said, it can be a lot. So we're here to help you and guide if you need any assistance at all in navigating this stuff. And I think if you want to go ahead and go to the next slide, where I'm one of the fairly quicker ones, but yep, as previously mentioned, I definitely recommend taking a look at the getting started guide. Woo. And that should really help, kind of get you an introduction, teach you how to find things, teach you some search techniques, things like that, so you can find stuff effectively when you're doing your library research in your courses. And I believe that's it for me. So let's go, yep, to the next presenter, and we're happy to have you here. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Becca. I'm the Assistant Director of Alumni Engagement. Our office primarily works with folks after they graduate, but we also, a lot of the events and resources that we offer are available to current students as well. And like Mandy was saying, we partner with different offices to provide opportunities for students while they are currently enrolled, which will hopefully get you excited and wanting to participate and stay connected to the university even after you graduate. So I want to go over some of those opportunities. And before I do that, I do have a question. If you can put your answers in the chat here, how many alumni do you think we have in our community here at SNHU? So you can put a guess in the chat. Give everyone just a couple seconds. All right, we got some guesses in here. All right, some nice. All right. James, you can go to the next slide if you don't mind. Awesome. We have over 236,000 living alumni, which is a lot, which is incredible, honestly. We're really excited by such a high number. And over 166,000 alumni have graduated from online programs, which is about 72%, which is incredible. So know that you are not alone. There are alumni all over the US, all over the world, who are just like you. I think it was Mandy who said earlier, you don't realize how many people probably in your town, in the town next door, are also SNHU students, which I think is one of the coolest things about us. The top 5 degrees that we hold, that our alumni earn, are the Bachelor of Science degree. 35% of students hold that one, which includes business, human resource management, economics. 17% of our alumni graduate with a Bachelor of Arts degree, which includes communications, psychology, justice studies, followed by Masters of Science and Masters of Business Administration. And many of our alumni also hold 2 or more degrees, which is pretty awesome. And I think speaks a lot to the experience that they had the first time that they want to come back. And before I go to the next slide, I do have another question that you guys can answer in the chat. What states do you think have the largest populations of SNHU alumni? All right, got some guesses coming in. Good guesses. All right, awesome. We can go to the next slide and find out the answer. As you can see from the map, those of you who put New Hampshire are correct, which is, we kind of have an unfair advantage of name recognition here in New Hampshire. And certainly a lot of campus and online students are familiar in the area, New Hampshire and Massachusetts. That help those numbers be inflated just a little bit, but still, I mean, California is right up there, Texas, Florida, a bunch of other people guessed North Carolina. Georgia is really close to taking over Maine, which is the last one on here. So we'll get a few more graduates there, and that'll be a fight. It's always changing just a little bit, but truly, we have students in all of the states and across the world as well. SNHU is truly global. We have over 300 countries where alumni live and work. Some of our biggest populations include Malaysia, Rwanda, Vietnam, Thailand, and Canada, which is pretty cool. All right, if you don't mind going to the next slide, James. All right, so in our office, we are so lucky to work with amazing students, alumni, donors, volunteers, staff and faculty at SNHU, like so many of my partners here. And there are so many different ways that you can engage with alumni, as you can see on the graphic there. As our friends in Career Services mentioned earlier, their team utilizes Handshake for jobs and internships. And what may be surprising is that some of the folks who are recruiting for positions are alumni of SNHU, and they're looking out for people who also graduated from the university. There's a lot of connections that can be made this way. A lot of our alumni want to hire fellow SNHU alumni. And you never know where you end up working. Your boss could be a SNHU alum. Maybe your coworkers are also familiar with the program. Our population runs very deep and wide. And lastly, as a student, you can apply to scholarships. These scholarships may be directly funded by an alum or a member of the SNHU community who wants to support you in your educational journey. Through our office, we provide resources alongside the Student Financial Services Office. We offer a lot of scholarships that are available for students. Keep an eye on My SNHU around February for more information and links for how to apply. All right, we can go to the next slide. Professional networking. And I think this should also now be updated to reflect that we also just have some really fun regional events for folks to connect on. Like Mandy was talking about earlier, our team's paired together to go to San Antonio in September. We're headed to Atlanta, like we talked about in February. We're always looking for other places to go. I saw some of the suggestions earlier and love to see that everybody wants us to visit their area, and we certainly will try our best. We were without being able to travel for a few years. So as we get back into it, we're adjusting what networking and those fun experiences look like Monster Mini Golf. The photo here is from a group of students, faculty, staff, and alumni at the Grace Hopper Celebration, the largest gathering of women in IT. They met together in October 2019 in Orlando, Florida. And it's just a unique and wonderful experience where many SNHU community members can come together in celebration of SNHU. There's nothing better than getting a group of SNHU folks together to talk about their accomplishments and how they overcame challenges. I look forward to doing that with folks in Atlanta in February and other places as we begin to plan more and more ways to get out there. Next slide, please. All right, homecoming. So we actually just had homecoming this past October. It's one of our biggest events that celebrates all members of the SNHU community and celebrates SNHU itself. Some events that are always a hit are virtual paint night, virtual bingo, always a big one. We had a few other virtual games, and we have a lot of events happening on campus as well. I know it's a little far out now, but you can keep an eye out on information in early fall for information on Homecoming 2024, which will happen in October. If you are in New England, or we've had some people take the trip out, everyone is welcome. Online students and campus students and their families are welcome to come and celebrate in Homecoming. James, next slide, please. And Global Days of Service is our other big event that is coming up. this spring. Keep an eye out for more information. This is one of those things that my SNHU and your SNHU email address are really important to keep an eye out on, because that's where we'll share more information if you're interested in both leading a service project or just participating in one. We have a wide range of projects available, whether they're in person across the country, definitely not just here in New Hampshire, like beach cleanups, as you can see from the photo, volunteering in a food bank. We also have a bunch of projects that we call DIY, do it yourself, where folks can volunteer in their own homes with their own family, friends, community members, or truly on your own, and then share the information back with us. In 2023, volunteers led 7 DIY projects and 36 local in-person projects. We're really hoping to grow those numbers this year and are excited for what's ahead. Next slide, please, which I think is the last one. So, is it worth it to stay connected? I think so, definitely. I hope you guys do as well after seeing some of the information that I shared here today of the opportunities that can come from staying involved as an SNHU student currently, and then as an alum. We truly hope that you'll stay involved, stay connected, and continue to participate in events, and also reach out for help when you need it. We have a lot of resources and support available, and look forward to working with all of you from beginning to end and beyond of your program. So thanks, everyone. I'm going to hand it off to who's next, which I think is Melanie.
Yes, ma'am. It is me. Hello, everybody. I am Melanie Shop, and I am one of the instructors that teach in the first year experience program. I teach both in SNHU 107, so anybody that's taking SNHU 107, and IDS 105. Plus, I get to work with all of your amazing faculty on the first year experience team. And what I wanted to tell you all is, first and foremost, we are so excited that y'all are here and joining the SNHU family. I'm sure that there is a variety of emotions running through you right now. You might be excited, you might be a little nervous, you might be a little overwhelmed, you might be just a little bit of all the things. Well, just know, as you guys have heard today, you have so many departments and people that are here for you to lean on as you journey through your classes here at SNHU. So do not hesitate to reach out to your instructors, your advisors, the academic support team, the career team, the library. There's so many that are here, and you got to hear from just a snippet of the teams that are here for your support today. But I wanted to really just remind you, make sure you're checking that university email. Stay involved as you can in what works with your schedule. Take things day by day. Take a big old deep breath and just know that we're so excited for you and you're going to do great. So, as Mandy mentioned earlier, we have this fabulous e-space called SNHU Connect, which, as a reminder, you do not get access until about 7 to 10 days after you register for classes. So don't panic if you try to get in there and you can't get in yet. Your registration and login access will be coming. But inside of SNHU Connect, there are 2 dedicated spaces, one for students taking SNHU 107 and one for students that are taking IDS 105. So if you are taking either one of those courses, you have these special spaces in SNHU Connect where you will work a lot with me. I post helpful videos every week that walk you through your assignments and how to find them, what to do. It can just be a little overwhelming sometimes the first couple of weeks of where to click and where to find things. So those videos and webinars are going to be in there. We have a live session coming up in January. Keep an eye on your university SNHU email for all of the login access. It'll be held on Teams just like this, where we're kind of just going to walk through your classroom space and talk about some tips for your success as you get started here at the university. So know that if you're taking IDS 105 or SNHU 107, you have an extra opportunity to get to know your peers and build some great relationships, whether they're in your classroom or not. Plus, you're going to have some weekly webinars that are either live like this session or they're on demand, which means they're pre-recorded and you can access them when it works best for you. They're always loaded by every Monday of every week. Plus, there's some other quick little videos in there to just show you things like how to access different departments, how to access different assignments, and they just walk you through some of the things that you might need in your specific classes from week to week. So when you get access to SNHU Connect, please make sure to find your IDS 105 or SNHU 107 communities if you're taking those classes. Also, make sure if you're available to watch the webinars or come to them live when they're live, because it just all equals your success. So just know, we are so thrilled for you. You're going to have a lot of support at your fingertips. It can seem like a lot, it can be a little overwhelming, but just take a big old deep breath. Take things just day by day and know you have a whole team of support behind you here at SNHU. So I'm going to turn it over to our peer mentor group. Thank you for learning a little bit about the communities that you have in IDS 105 and SNU 107.
All right, Melanie, thank you so much for sharing that information about the learning communities. Unfortunately, our peer mentor had a emergency and is unable to participate in this session, but I directly manage the peer mentorship program, so I can speak pretty confidently about the work that they do. So we have a peer mentor program, and some may ask, what is a peer mentor? It's not a tutor. We talked about that earlier with academic support. So those are individuals that help you in your courses. A peer mentor is someone that just is able to help you navigate the resources across the institution to help give you that additional boost and nudge on just from a student's perspective on how to move through all the various components at SNHU. So just know that that's how that works as far as what a peer mentor is. But you can get to know them and they can help you succeed at SNHU. They can share their lived experiences, their stories, and also some of the things that they are aware of to help you as far as practices to be a better student as far as understanding how to navigate SNHU. We also seek to connect you with resources, academic and co-curricular, meaning involvement in other areas to make sure that you have the connections that you need at this institution. So here's just a little bit of data on the benefits of peer mentorship. So 88% of students report increase in productivity. And a data point for the students at SNHU, 88% of them that participated with the peer mentorship program persisted to their next term. So they were able to get an understanding of different questions, different themes that may emerge so that they can be a better student and understand how to just navigate all the different uh, nuances of what it may be at an online school. Mentees 13% more likely to graduate, 81% higher college persistence, and then forging lifelong bonds. So, as I mentioned in that PIN acronym, networking is an essential part of that, and this is one of the great opportunities that allows you to do that. So these are pictures of the mentor that I mentioned, Catherine, who is doing some really great work, who earned her undergraduate degree and master's degree at SNHU, and actually is in route to complete her doctorate at another institution. But this just shows some pictures and highlights of how she was able to connect at the institution, and she resides in another state. So she is remote just like you all and was able to stay connected with the institution and serve in various different ways. So what you should do as a mentee is just take advantage of the resource. There is going to be some outreach that will take place for students so that they'll know about the mentorship program. There's a form that you can opt into, and with that form, you will receive information about how to sign up. And from there, you'll be assigned a mentor. They will reach out to you, set up a session, communicate with you via email, and host a meeting with you via Teams, just like we're doing right now. So know that the peer mentors are ready to connect with you. As I mentioned with the process, there's a brief onboarding survey. And I mentioned is a brief survey. It's not long at all. So feel free to fill that out. And then also, many of our mentors are active within the new student connections learning community. So that's another way to stay connected with the peer mentors. If you have questions, that's the email address right there. And we can address any kind of concerns that you may have through that. So that actually concludes the formal part of this presentation. So I see in the chat many of my colleagues have been diligent as far as responding to the different questions that you all have. I see a lot of great dialogue about individuals saying that they've been out of school for a while, that they vary in age. And just know that SNHU is an institution that supports you regardless of if you are a military veteran coming back to utilize your GI benefits and pursue your education. If you are someone that's retired and you're coming to higher ed, just to make sure that you just check off getting that diploma. And so all these different layers of your identities make up who you are, and know that even if you are a first generation college student like myself, we fully support you and are an institution that knows that our learners are very diverse and come from various backgrounds, and that we've got your back. So what we want now is just really to get your insights. So if you all have a QR code scanner on your phone, feel free to pull that out and scan the code that is on your screen, and that will take you to a survey. Now, that survey is essential for us to get your feedback and to see how we can continually improve and assess our sessions and outreach to you all to host programs like this one. So with that, I just want to say that we are so grateful for you all. Looking forward to the great work that you're going to do in this upcoming term. I know that myself, Melanie, Allison, Shauna, all of us, we are here to fully support you. And I know I left off a list of names because it's a long, exhaustive list of people that are here to support you. And we are definitely going to support you as you make your way into your first year, and then as you walk across the stage, and then, as mentioned, beyond when you become alumni of this great institution. So, with that being said, we close this session, and just know that you can definitely reach out to us if you have any questions. Looking forward to the work you're going to do. Have a restful season, regardless of how you may celebrate. Want to make sure that you all have the time to just kind of be with family and support one another, and then dive into these academics, and we're going to help you out through that. So everyone, take care. I don't know if my colleagues have anything else additional to add, but we are so grateful for you all and the work that you're going to do.